Welcome to Framework Fortune and welcome back Framework Fortune community. I'm your host Ben and we've got our co-host H&H Trader with us tonight. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? Nothing much. Making small moves compared to your mountainous moves.
Yeah, there was some interesting moves today, that's for sure. So let's get into it. It's time for the last strip where we're going to cover our trades we took today, take a look at some potential swing trades and what may be hot for the next day. So let's dive into the SPY like we always do. The SPY yesterday, or Friday I should say, pushed to new highs at 470. And today it started looking like it was going to try to push, but started selling off. And this is a pretty straight downtrend right here. Pretty clear downtrend. I mean, we're way off of this 10-day. I wouldn't be surprised to see it pull back there. I'm more surprised that it's up this high than I am that I don't know. But
The craziest thing about it, normally when you see red bars on the chart, you expect it to be some type of like continuation down, but these are indecision bars, those top
yeah.
red bars. So it's like, okay, if you get in short, is it gonna blow you out tomorrow?
That's the thing. That's the thing, man. Like, it's weird. It's weird. Like, right here, you have the downtrending red bars. It makes sense. But then
hmm
here, they're pointing up. Two red bars pointing up. So, I don't know. I don't know what to expect out of the stock market anymore. I think it was a pretty mixed day, but quite a bit of green. Yeah, still pretty mixed. Anyway, so there was not a whole lot ripping this morning besides some crypto stocks because cryptos went on started breaking out. Bitcoin re-breaking 65, Ethereum's going on a run, hitting all new highs, bunch of altcoins hitting all new highs. So we saw BTBT. Well, I didn't, but you were saying BTBT and then Annie. Some of those were popping during the day. Yeah, BTBT with a nice move from 12 up to 13. And you traded Annie, right?
Yeah, I traded Annie, man. It came down, stopped me out. When I checked it, it stopped me out. I had a $5 loss on it, so not bad, but still, it I hate trading the crypto stocks because they are so choppy when they go up on that sentimental news.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it ended up going up to
It's up
whatever,
to,
766.
yeah.
But my entry was 730. So it's a 30-cent move off my entry. So it's just not worth it to me. 30 cents is just not gonna do anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could possibly rip. It's kind of making a cup and handle here, breaking the cup and handle. So if it can break over 8, it may have another big move here soon, especially if cryptos continue to be hot. Oh, yeah, look at that uptrend.
Yeah, the only problem is it's competing with the other crypto stocks that are moving way more, like that BTBT,
Yeah.
Mara, and Riot were ripping dollars, like
It,
$2, $3. So it's competing with those.
yeah. Yeah, you can see Riot there starting the day out at 33, closing at 38. Well, not closing, we're still in after hours, but up to 38.46 here in after hours.
Exactly.
And Mara's probably the same. Yeah, Mara up to 77, started at 69, so that's an $8 move. How did BTSC do? Oh, BTSC got up there a little bit, moving from 7 to 8 with barely any volume. like,
Yeah.
like 100,000 in volume. So nice. Yeah, all the cryptos ripping. And that could continue. Other than that, I've been starting the streams at 9 a.m. Central. If you caught my stream this morning, by the time that I ended the stream, we were right around in here. And it was looking real sad. I jumped in here on this play. Let me say this first before we. You can see the profit there, 375. I can't really hide that. But let me say this first. I did not trade this well. This was not a good executed trade. It just happened to work out in my favor. I could have easily got destroyed and damn near almost got took a nasty loss. But when I saw this after it already popped up, I saw this little consolidation through here and I jumped in at 689 looking for the rebreak of 7 and it got it all the way up to 780, but I was really expecting to go to 8. Now, first my entry 689 is kind of at the top of this consolidation. It would have been better to get in at 650. That was a clear bounce point because that was all resistance through pre-market. So I was in about 70, let's see, about 40 cents higher than I should have been in the first
Can,
place.
can you go to the 15-minute chart on this one?
Yeah, yeah. So
So,
yeah, you can see it really good on here on the 689 was like right here.
mm-hmm.
So I was basically buying this break of the top of this candle, looking for
Yeah.
7. So like I said, that 650 area would have been better, but when it came back down, it kind of held up there and tried to push back over 7 for half a second. So I added 100 at 722, which brought my average down to 705. Well, I actually brought my average up to 705, not down.
I guess if you were looking at the 15-minute on that chart, you would have seen how big that red candle was and waited.
Yeah, well, what
And
I did, I think I did have the 15-minute up, but I was focused on the 1 minute, like I normally am for that early in the morning.
telling you, man, that 15-minute chart will save your life.
Yeah, I've been looking at the 15 minute. I've been using it,
Yeah,
but
because like,
I also should have sold instead of holding this when as soon as it started cracking down, because buying at a breakout, if it doesn't break out and it comes back down, you got to get out. Like you can't hold it like this. So not only was my entry not great, holding it through this, and I held it all the way down to the bottom. I was down $250 on this thing.
because my entry is always after multiple reds on the 15. So after that two right there, I would have been entering right there where your finger is right
Yeah,
there. That's where I would have been entering, and definitely would have been moving up my stop behind it. And by that dump, I would have just took out profits. I wouldn't have let it rip down against me, and then look for more entries after.
exactly.
Um, yeah, that's what I would have been looking at.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like my entry wasn't great. I didn't execute this well. It just happened to work in my favor. I bag held it all the way, down to that whatever that was, 550, I think, 570. And then when it shot up, I took 100 here at the top of this one at 830, took 50 there at 890, and then locked the rest out at 1023 on this candle. I definitely wasn't, after holding it all day and trading it that stupid, I wasn't letting this profit go. I took it
Yeah.
375. But like I said, this is not an example of good trading. Just because I made a profit does not mean it was executed well. Learn from those mistakes. Even though it might not look like a mistake, the execution was flawed for sure. But it ended up being a very nice win. I know it sounds sad, but I'm not sad. It was a good day. And we'll be back again tomorrow. Hopefully look for some more gains like this. HS, you got to get on some of these big gains with me, buddy.
I'm looking for some good catalysts. I wasn't about to jump in that thing. That thing, man, that thing had weak catalysts. Like I said, the only reason it went up was it was low float.
Yeah, it's very low float, under 8 million
You know,
in the shares.
because if
I don't think it's bad PR. Launches mobile electric vehicle charging stations. I think that's pretty good PR. I mean, that's a new revenue for their business.
I mean, the competition, you'd be like, oh, okay, that's why.
There is a lot of competition. You're not wrong, but there's also not a lot of electric chargers out there in the world. Trust me, as someone who drives an EV car now, they're not as prevalent. So there's definitely some room for some competition right now.
Yeah. Also, we gotta talk about it gave back the profits, man. Gave back
Oh
$5
yeah,
worth of profits.
yeah, and that's the thing with low flows. That's why if you saw this rip and you bought in up here at 12 or 13 or even 10 or 9, you bought in too late, and these low floats can easily give back everything. Now, it didn't give back all of it because it did hold its gains from pre-market and that one little pop, but it gave back about $5 in this dip right here. Actually, a little bit over $5, or yeah, somewhere around in there.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to be careful with these low flows, because if you like this, me bag holding this today, this could have happened very easily right here, and this could have been a $400 or $500 loss instead of a
Yeah.
$375 win. But
I only see one entry that I probably would have taken after seeing, because the thing is, like, it just popped out of nowhere. So it
mm-hmm.
was one of those that went down after the morning. I was like, oh, that's dead, and just watched the cryptos. But when after that pop, it only gave looks like one entry for me, which would have been that topping tail up there, that red. You see that big red wick right there,
Right
right there.
here.
Yeah, I would have been waiting for it to. You see how it cracked the bottom of that but failed.
Mm-hmm.
You see how the green wick was a little bit lower but failed
Yeah.
to break down. That
Yeah.
would have been the entry point.
You wouldn't have got him back here anywhere?
No, it came out of nowhere. I wasn't watching it. It was dead to me because
Okay.
it literally faded off and then it popped back up and I was like, what is this up 200 something percent? What is this?
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody probably who was in the live stream this morning is probably a little shocked to see this move happen. But this is what I was
Yeah,
talking about with it in the live stream this morning. There wasn't anything else really going on at that time. The crypto stocks had kind of calmed down, and this was very low float and was the top gainer and was still getting attention. It was selling off, but it had a hard time breaking up, but it also had a hard time breaking down.
yeah.
And it had that potential for the big rip.
There'll be other opportunities, guys.
Oh, for
Don't
sure.
worry.
Oh, for sure. And there was other rips too today. Pets got a little rip towards the end of the day, ripping about $3. CBAT, which Lori I think was calling out. Lori, nice job calling this one out. This one was a slower mover, but it did move from 225 all the way up to 357 by the end of the day. So if you rode that trend line out, nice job. That's pretty easy profits.
Yeah.
As long as it's holding up like that.
You already know what I'm looking for. Dollar moves, baby.
Yeah.
Dollar moves.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of these, and I was actually surprised on this one because it was below the 200, which it did get held up by the 200. But it made the rip all the way from the bottom all the way up to the 200, which is usually, that's a pretty long stretch for this cheap of a stock to make in one day. So a lot of things are performing really well. BLNK, another one popped
I
up
bet
there.
pre-market's gonna be crazy tomorrow.
Yeah, pre-market probably. I'd say the market would just be crazy in general after everybody saw the big rip on PPSI. They're going to probably be like, oh, the last 2 weeks has been really hot. We're starting out hot again. Let's jump in here. So I would expect that tomorrow. I would expect another hot day. It'll just depend on that SPY. The SPY, I don't know. Those weird candle movements, it just makes me nervous.
I don't think PPSI cared about the SPY. If
No,
it
it
would have
didn't.
dumped, it would have still went up.
No, that's true because I was saying that in the live stream. I was saying this is running against the SPY. The SPY is downtrending, and that's kind of another reason why I was like holding it because I kept thinking like we've seen a lot of days where the SPY will sell off during the day and then push back up, and that actually did happen. It sold off and then midday pushed back up, just not as quite as high as it has been. So that's another reason why I was like, maybe if the SPY comes back up, that play could come back alive. Let's see, VIXY all the way. It's at $17. You ready to load up on VXY yet? It's down at that $17 area. You ready to go
Yes,
bearish against the SPY?
I really am not going bearish because I feel like the SPY is playing a fool's game.
Yeah, it
It'll
is.
visually set up on the charts, visually set up on the level twos, and then absolutely do the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, man, this definitely bearish. Yep. Nope.
Yeah.
Now we're back up to 470, back from the where was it? The 430s?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, yeah. When we had that dip right there, yeah, where we thought we were going bearish. Yeah, it got down to 425, and then immediately after that, ripping $50 in the last 2 weeks, all the way up to 470. Insane. I can't imagine the bears who went short here.
Yeah.
And that's
But I don't know if they would have went short because that's a definite triple bottom. Or what is that? An inverse head and shoulders, I mean.
Yeah, inverse head and shoulders. Yeah. Well, right through here, you would think maybe once this wick cracked, that might have caught some shorts.
Nah, I doubt it.
You know,
That's a
think so?
failure. That would have caused some longs. Longs would have been like, let's enter here when it fails that breakdown.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter anyway because the feds are still pumping money, but they're supposedly supposed to stop. So we'll see if that has any effect on the market. I think it's going to, but I've been wrong thus far about the market and the feds. They just keep that little chia pet growing, man.
Yeah.
But anything else for them, Hal?
That's it.
All right, well, guys, we'll be back on both channels tomorrow. If you haven't yet, go check out H&H Traders channel. Link in the description below. And also, check out frameworkfortune.com. Sign up. It is free. Come join us over there. So hit that like button if you want to keep supporting Framework Fortune. We appreciate it. You guys, stay safe out there. Until next time.